What's up, everybody? You're very welcome along to Tuesday night to late night agenda. I'm your host Craig, and we are in full preparation mode for the massive game against Barcelona tomorrow night. Daly's in, El Desperado's in, Tussie's in, Kyle's in, Adrian's in, Joshua's in, Tom Boland's in, Morton's in, Frank's in, Joseph Stalin's in, Josie's in, Matt Nerton's in, Peter Ortiz, Shade's in, Stereo, or is it? Sefty Joe, Premier League fan. SDC, Regs is in, Harry is in, lots of other people coming in now as we speak. How the fuck are we? I hope we're all keeping well. Spurs obviously have a lot to do now after losing the first leg at home to Ajax 1-0 in the first Champions League semi-final tonight. Obviously tomorrow attention turns to Barcelona. The good news is Bobby Firmino and Fabinho have both trained. Those two names together always trip me up. Bobby Firmino and Fabinho have both trained and are going to be available for selection for Jurgen Klopp tomorrow night. That is a massive relief, I have to say. Now, whether he makes the starting 11, I don't know for Firmino. I hope he does. But the fact that they've both trained today ahead of the game is a massive plus. Ryan Brewster is also included in Jurgen Klopp's travelling squad for the game against Barcelona. Young Creevin Kelleher is in there as well. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, all the names, everyone that you'd expect. Why did you change the title? Because Connor wrote the title and then I came back in and decided I wanted to change the title. So there you go. Connor sometimes just sets up a holding title, if you want to put it like that, while I come back in then and change things around before I come on. Come on Reds, Barcelona will find it tough, said Patrick Silk. How are we, Harry? Welcome in. Thoughts on signing De Ligt? Yes please, James, is my thoughts on signing De Ligt. I would absolutely love the kid at Liverpool. He's imperious. I think that's the right word to use from. Absolutely class. Cheers from Miami. Oh, Juan Mendoza, you have me so jealous, mate. It's been a few years since I've been in Miami. I've been in Florida for the past 5-6 years, but haven't been down to Miami for maybe 3 years. But I love it, mate. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. Please beat Barcelona tomorrow, said Joshua. Would really appreciate it here in Madrid. Hello Craig, well done Ajax, said Wool Wizard. Massive result for Ajax tonight. Another tremendous European away performance from Ajax. You've got to give the kids credit. Tremendous, absolutely tremendous. They didn't look overawed by the occasion. Spurs, if anything, were the ones that looked like a rabbit in the headlights there tonight, to borrow a phrase used from somebody during the watch along. Ajax are good, but I think whoever gets out of this Barcelona-Liverpool side of the draw, I think have to be the favourites for the final. Sorry I'm late, I've been brushing my teeth. Brandon, that's alright mate, it's important to brush your teeth. Joanna's in as well. Joanne, how are you? Aaron said, Craig, seen Ajax play again tonight, do you believe we could beat them? Oh yes, absolutely Aaron. They're a good side, but Spurs stood off them, gave them far too much time on the ball, allowed them too much space to play between the lines. I absolutely think we could beat that Ajax team. I'd be pretty confident of us beating that Ajax team. That doesn't mean they're not a very good team filled with very good footballers. I just don't think they're the finished article, but in a one-off game in the Champions League final, anything is possible. I think tonight was more a case of Spurs being shit rather than Ajax doing anything extraordinary. Now, the win away from home in the Champions League semi-final is a big result, don't get me wrong, but I actually think Ajax probably had a few more gears they could have went through there tonight, and I'd expect a better quality game in the second leg at the Ajax Arena, or the Amsterdam Arena, sorry. Who's easier for Liverpool in the final? I would say Ajax. And the reason I would say Ajax is Spurs know Liverpool, they've played them, they understand maybe ways that they can frustrate Liverpool. Ajax, you still hope they might be overawed by the big occasion, but also I think we're just a better team, if I'm being. And Barcelona, I think the winner of our side of the draw will win the competition. Hem said, good evening all. Spurs were disappointing, but Van der Beek was brilliant. He did put in a great shift, he did. There's a couple of players in that Ajax team that just look like quality. The goalkeeper, actually, I mean, fair play to the keeper. He didn't got much to do tonight, but anything that he had to do, he dealt with easily. I think composure is key tomorrow, said Regs. Yes, composure, a fast start, not showing them too much respect, keeping Messi out of the game. I mean, it's very easy for me to say this, isn't it? Keeping Messi out of the game as much as possible. But as I've always said, I make us slight favourites in the tie, but you cannot underestimate the quality of Barcelona. You cannot look past a team that has that list of players in their team, that has the greatest footballer of all time, in my opinion, playing for them. It's just brilliant. It's just great to be in this position again. Champions League semi-final, Liverpool against Barcelona. It's just beautiful. I cannot wait for it. I cannot wait for this watch along tomorrow night. Labs Gamer, how are you, mate? Welcome in. 3 best teams in Europe: Liverpool, Leicester, and Brighton. Well, relax there now. Come on now, relax, David. Will you be streaming on Sunday as it's my birthday? Yeah, I'm sure we'll be doing a late night agenda, Brandon, on Sunday, mate. But happy birthday to you. To those of you that are signed up to our Patreon reward scheme, by the way, you will start to see your rewards being distributed now from the next week or so. So you'll get the newsletter probably on Friday ahead of the game against Newcastle. Connor's working on the digital downloads as well. You'll be getting your discount code for the merchandise. And there's a couple of other bits and pieces as well that I'm supposed to do. I can't remember off the top of my head. But just for anyone that has signed up, just remember the 1st of May is the billing date. So after the 1st of May is when the rewards will kick in, for those of you that were wondering. Because I did get a couple of emails off a few people asking about it. So yes, from tomorrow you'll start to see the things. October's working on the newsletter as we speak. Connor's working on the digital downloads or the images that we promised everybody. We'll do our shout out for the the Patreon subscribers as well before the match tomorrow, and a few other bits and pieces that I just can't remember off the top of my head. What else have we got? Got the scoring away goal to have a chance at Anfield, said Chris. I would say that's a fair shout, Chris. I mean, a 0-0 draw, we could still go through at Anfield, but an away goal does help a lot. Hydro Pikey Pig said 1-1 tomorrow. Zayet's turned into prime Iniesta in the first half, said Niloy? Excuse me, mate, if I mispronounced that, but welcome in. Coutinho can be good when he wants to be, said Adam. If the Reds get to the final, it'll be intimidating for the opposition. The stadium will be full of Reds. Don't underestimate those Ajax fans, by the way. They travel in numbers and they're loud. Yeah, don't underestimate those Ajax fans. They are fanatical fans as well. Niloy reckons 3-1 to Liverpool tomorrow. I love your stream because it makes me really happy. Thank you, Brandon. I'm glad I make somebody happy, mate. Watch Liverpool or train with a team tomorrow. Oh, mate, is there even a competition there? You've got to watch Liverpool, James. Champions League semi-final, mate. There's nothing that would keep me from the game, from watching it. Nothing. And I literally mean nothing. We need to be careful of Messi, Suarez and co, but they need to also be careful of our front three. Firmino trained today, said Ella. When's the game? Tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Our watch along will be starting at about 7:30 p.m. So I hope you can all join us for that. Read my comment a minute ago, mate. I'm not going looking for it. If you want to put it back in, I'm happy to read it again. Just put a little emoji or something beside it so I can see it, mate. But I will read it if you put it back in, but I can't scroll back up to look for it. Brewster is in the squad as well, said Ella, which is true and class. I'm going for 2-2, said Brian, which is the score I predicted as well. I mean, taking a 2-2 back to Anfield would be great after the first leg. I mean, a win would be even better, of course, but Barcelona are good at home in the Champions League. Mo will rip Jordi Alba apart, said Patrick. I think the Camp Nou will end up a draw, said Qatari. Robbo to launch Messi in the first 5 minutes, said Billy. I'd love that to happen. Imagine that, bang, straight into the stands. Take that, Messi. Barcelona fans have really made me laugh over the past 24 hours. Some of the comments on the stream from last night, absolutely hilarious. They feel, some of them actually feel that it's going to be a stroll in the park for Barcelona over the 2 legs, and they've accused us of being arrogant as Liverpool fans. I don't see any arrogance from Liverpool fans. I see Liverpool fans that are respecting the fact that they've got Lionel Messi and that he is one of the greatest footballers of all time, that they've got Luis Suarez, Felipe Coutinho, Ousmane Dembele, Ivan Rakitic. But don't underestimate these boys in red either. That's what I'm saying. I think they just assume that that's it now. They've got Messi, they're going to win. It isn't that simple. Football isn't played that easily. It's not played on paper. I'm telling you what, I think some of these Barca fans are going to be in for a shock when they see quite how good this Liverpool team are. Don't think we'll man-mark Messi, said Sean. I'm interested to see how that works out. What we do there, Sean. What we do. I'm interested to see what happens there, pal. Robbie said, hi Craig, well done on a fantastic channel. Love your insight and honesty. Keep up the good work. I'm actually a little bit blushing tonight. It's weird. I've had so many nice comments. Not that I don't, not that we don't get nice comments, but thank you. It means a lot. Thank you, Robbie. 2-0 to the Reds in Spain, then 2-1 at Anfield, said Ryan. I'm very proud of Ter Stegen. He's aged at his club and he's great. He's a very good goalkeeper, Adam. Very good goalkeeper. Should we man mark Messi, said Scotty. I don't know, mate. Can you man mark Messi? And if you do, who do you give the role to? Because if you're saying, let's say, for instance, we pull Fabinho on him and then Messi goes wandering and we leave space in midfield because Fabinho's gone wandering with Lionel Messi and then they run straight through midfield, it's difficult. It's difficult to just say man mark him. Messi could destroy us tomorrow, said Hans. I mean, Messi's capable of destroying anybody, but so is Bobby Firmino, so is Mohamed Salah, so is Sadio Mane. Last 2 seasons at the Nou Camp versus Spurs, 2-2 and 1-1, and we're better than Spurs. Sean said, I watched Barcelona training stream on YouTube. Most were saying 3-0. Yeah, delusional fuckers, mate. There's no way they're beating us by 3 goals. Not a chance. We have the best front 3 in Europe, said Mark. In Klopp we trust, said Qatari. Players don't mean anything. It's how they play on the night. Exactly, Brandon. And don't forget, Messi isn't 27-year-old Lionel Messi. He's 32-year-old Lionel Messi. As good as he is, and he can impact the game and he can change things at the drop of a hat. But he is still 32 years of age. He's not as explosive as he once was. Can you tell Expressions his vlog was hilarious? There's a poll in his way I think was the funniest I've ever seen. I haven't seen it yet, mate, but I will. For those of you that don't know what he's talking about, Expressions is supposed to be coming on Thursday. To give us a Spurs perspective on the first leg of both ties, because they'll both be played by then. So I'm hoping to have that video going live at about 8 o'clock. I'm not sure. I might do it as a live stream or I might pre-record it. I probably will do it as a live stream though, so keep an eye out for that one on Thursday. I will of course schedule it. Any news on Depay and Fekir? Nothing, Leon, mate. Nothing yet, other than the few bits and pieces we spoke about yesterday. Is a win at the Nou Camp too optimistic, said Dom Burns. I don't think so, buddy. I mean, I wouldn't be expecting it, but I don't think it's out of the realms of possibility that we could go there and get a win, no. Craig, your channel's the best streaming channel on YouTube. Whoop whoop. You have to have the whoop whoops. There's no whoop whoop, no party, Patrick. Is Bobby and Fabinho fit? Yes, Sam. They both trained ahead of the game, which is great news. Absolutely great news. He changes his position all the time. He's impossible to man mark, said Brian. He does, and he drops deeper, as we spoke about before. The more he's taken out of a game, or the more he's starved for possession, you see Messi then dropping deeper and deeper and deeper to try and impact the game. We should play Michael Edwards up front, said Stephen Richards. Actually, on the game tomorrow, we spoke about predictions and stuff. Former Liverpool and Barcelona player Mauricio Pellegrino believes that the semi-final is a real 50-50 tie. Speaking before the game, he said, it's really difficult to predict the result right now when both sides are really good. The small details will determine the result. I imagine that Liverpool usually like to be really aggressive in the high pressure, but it's something that Barcelona are really good at, trying to attract teams and moving the ball past them on their own pitch. Liverpool have to be patient, don't go on too high press, don't push too much. They're really good when they break the first line. For me, it'll be fun to see if Liverpool were able to recover the game in the opposition half and if Barcelona are able to break the first pressure of Liverpool. This is a man, as I said, that has played for both clubs, albeit briefly. A man who is now coaching in Spain as well. A man who has a lot of respect for both clubs, and I actually value his opinion. I think he's nailed it there. It's going to be an intriguing game, to say the least. Liverpool's press is fantastic, but Barcelona in possession are very capable of playing around the press as well. So as Pellegrino was referring to there, it's going to be interesting when and how Liverpool press, because they can't just press for the sake of it. Jurgen Klopp has spoken about this before, and that he believes the front three in particular are very clever in their press. Firmino leads the press at times, so for me that's going to be a very intriguing part of this game tomorrow. Expressions is a sound guy, said Patrick. He is. He's a very nice lad. I watched Messi versus Atletico Madrid when it was 1-1. He wasn't at his best. If our defence stay composed, we'll be fine. Yeah, no giving away silly free kicks around the edge of the box, or we could be in trouble. And they will dive. They're going to dive. There's going to be diving. Expect it. It's going to happen. The referee is a Dutch referee who has refereed Barcelona on 8 occasions, I believe, in the Champions League. I think they've won 3, drawn 1, or won 3, lost 1 and drawn 4 under this particular referee, if memory serves. The Barca manager said Liverpool would be shocked at the atmosphere in the Nou Camp. Look, I never want to disrespect another club's atmosphere because, well, except Manchester City, I'm absolutely sound about doing that. Because we bang on about atmosphere at Anfield all the time, and people say the same. People underestimate how intimidating Anfield can be. The Nou Camp is a massive stadium. It holds 100,000 people. There's a massive following for Barcelona as well, but there is also no denying that there is a large chunk of tourism that goes into Barcelona. I don't know how noisy it's going to be. I don't know how intimidating it's going to be. I don't imagine at this point in time, after going to Rome and stuff, that Liverpool are going to be intimidated anywhere. I think these players have enough experience now in Europe and have played at the top level long enough that they should be okay, but again, anything is possible. Messi won't be given the time and space like he was at United, said Mark. Guys, look, we're only 32 subs away from 12.5k. If you're watching, you haven't subscribed, please do hit that button. 12,500, yeah, that's massive for us. Robbie said, sorry, I'm just bored. I hope you're not bored on here, Robbie, mate. I hope I'm not boring you. Can you see Virgil stopping Messi? It's not just going to be about one player. Is that why, Connor? It's not going to be about one player, mate. It's going to be about the entire team doing it. I'm interested to see if we go with Gomez or Trent at right back. That's what is going to interest me with the team selection tomorrow. How's your day been? It's been very good, thank you, Brandon, mate. I hope yours has been as well. I have a few more bits and pieces as well. The under-18s followed up their FA Cup victory over Manchester City by beating them yet again. Jack Byrne scored the only goal today to give the Young Reds a 1-0 win at the Etihad campus, so well done to them. Another win over Manchester City. I'll take any win over Manchester City at this moment in time. Any little dig we can possibly put in, I'm happy to take. Epic Ledger is back. How are you, mate? Welcome. Is there any camera for any dives? Forgot what it's called, sorry. Oh, VAR and stuff. Not really. Not really, no. If it's a penalty incident and stuff, yes, they'll look at it, but in and around the box, it'll be the referee's decision. Liverpool Football Club. So he's gone Alisson, Van Dijk, Matip, Robbo, Trent, Fabinho. I think we've got half a team there. I forgot the rest of it. Any predictions for tomorrow, guys? Please do put them in. I'd love to know your thoughts on team selection as well. If we're up for it and we play to par, we'll get a good result, said Morton. Barca fans giving out because Klopp said the Nou Camp wasn't a temple of football. To be fair, any fans would do that if anyone said anything about their stadium. I'm not getting drawn into all this if I'm if I'm Klopp, and fuck off. I'm not getting drawn into it. Just go there tomorrow, play our game, see what happens, and then bring them back to Anfield where they will see a temple of football. They will feel, hear, experience a temple of football. That second leg is going to be something special at Anfield. Ella said also, if anybody wants to share the stream, there is a little button underneath. You can press to share it on social media. So if you're on Twitter, Facebook, Reddit, whatever it is, please do feel free to share the stream. The more Reds we can reach around the world, the better. You should try doing Liverpool career mode on FIFA. Yes, from next season, James, I might do something on our second channel that we're going to be launching in the summer. Fuck Messi, Stephen Richards. Fuck him, mate. I've got an admission to make. I ate your Kios last night. Whoops. I was sitting downstairs, Stephen. I'm not going to lie, mate. I was a bit peckish. I looked up on top of the press. I was like, oh, there's them Kios I bought for Stephen. And I ate them. I'll probably try and get you some new ones, mate. Although it does take up space in my hand luggage, to be honest. But I did eat them. I'm not going to lie. Will Firmino play? I hope so, Seamus. I hope so, mate. He's trained, which is a good sign. Yeah, I hope so. Adam said, I just hate how we as Barca are threatening Liverpool fans on social media, and some of my mates are Barca fans are throwing shade. We should all show sportsmanship, in my opinion, and love the game. And that's where I am as well, Adam. Absolutely. You're talking about two clubs here. I think both have won 5 Champions Leagues, if memory serves me correct. I know Liverpool have. I think Barca have 5 as well. Two clubs with massive, massive experience in Europe. worldwide fan bases, huge clubs, great players at both clubs, and they both deserve respect. And I think respect should be given. Banter is sound. You expect banter in sport, but sometimes people just go over the top, mate. And you're right. It's right to be respectful at the same time, but winding people up can be fun as well. Sorry, I'm trying to catch up on comments. I look forward to watching Messi sit in VVD's back pocket, said Don Burns. John Hamilton, good evening to you, buddy. Great to see you in again. Why should we play Gomez? We shouldn't put pressure on him to play our own game at the Camp Nou. It's not something that I've just pulled out of the air, James, for tomorrow night, but if you look at Jurgen Klopp and his decision making in big games, not just away in Europe, he's often put Joe Gomez in at right back. It's something he's done time and time again when he's worried about pace sometimes down the sides, or when he needs a little bit of extra height. He has gone with Joe Gomez. That's why I suggested it. How do I think Barcelona will line up? Ter Stegen, is it Semedo? Jordi Alba obviously on the other side. PK, probably Longley alongside PK rather than Umtiti. Rakitic, Arthur. I'm not sure who they play the third player in midfield. Then probably Messi, Suarez, Coutinho. Do they go Vidal in midfield? Or no, Busquets, sorry, obviously Busquets. So Busquets, Rakitic and Arthur in midfield, and then Coutinho, Messi, Suarez as the front three. That's my guess at their team for tomorrow. Is there any news about the Firmino injury? Look, he trained Thomas, which is good news, so he should be available for tomorrow. Same with Fabinho. Liverpool legends gone for a Salah hat-trick and 3-1 to the Reds. Evil Nades? I always get your name wrong, mate, sorry. Alisson, Robbo, Van Dijk, Matip, Trent, Fabinho, Gini, Milner, Mohamed Salah, Bobby Firmino and Sadio Mane. That's his starting 11 for tomorrow. Josie's going 2-4. That would be a mad game, wouldn't it? Imagine a 4-2 game tomorrow at the new camp. Epic Ledger's going same back four, same front three, and then Fabinho, Milner and Henderson in midfield. Scotty said I wouldn't play Trent, they'll target him. And I've got a feeling VVD for a clean sheet, said Billy. Nice. A wise man once told me we're the most fair team in Europe, said Regs. Damn right, mate. Damn right. We're going to wear the grey kit tomorrow. Do you reckon grey or red? What do you reckon tomorrow? It has to be the grey kit, doesn't it? It has to be the grey one because they clash otherwise. So I'm just wondering because I'm asking because I want to wear my shirt. So I think the grey kit for tomorrow is the one that I'm going to pull out. Craig, what's your opinion on VAR? Personally, I think it ruins the excitement of the referee making a decision. There's things for and against VAR. I hate how long it can take at times. Sometimes as well decisions aren't black and white, so it's still up to interpretation or the referee's judgment on things like the likes of handballs and stuff like that. For some things like whether it was a foul or whether he was offside, things like that, I think it can be really important. You're talking about a lot of money at stake, a lot of pressure at the top level of the game. I think I'm probably more for it than against it, but there still has issues. There's still issues there that need to be ironed out. The handball thing is one that does my fucking head in at times. I don't like them looking at replays of handballs in slow motion either because it makes it look worse. I think they should be looked at in full speed. I'd also like to see the lines being shown more by the television companies immediately. Like sometimes we're still waiting for VAR decision and we haven't seen the lines on the screen. All in all though, I'd say I'm probably more for it, mate, than against. But I still think there's things that need to be worked out. Like if you're looking at cricket, rugby, tennis, these things, most of the time, most of the decisions are black and white. There was contact, there wasn't, it's in or it's out. It's a little bit different in football though. Think we're win if we get the first goal and play in the counter-attack, said Seamus. The Camp Nou is a class ground and I respect it. It's actually a dump, mate, if I'm being honest. Haven't been there. It's massive in stature, but it needs huge amounts of updating to it. And bear in mind, I'm a Barcelona fan underneath it all. I mean, I've said this to you guys on here before. Barcelona I've supported longer than I've supported Liverpool. Well, I'm talking about a year here in the difference, but I've never felt anywhere near the same level of love for Barcelona. But I've been to the new camp, I've been to a game there, I've done the stadium tour there, and it's impressive and it's big and it's a massive campus, and you've got the basketball and the handball as well beside it, and then you've got the training fields as well. It just looks like a worn out old stadium though. To be fair, it needs a lot of updating. Still though, 100,000 people, you know, that's going to create a noise. I'm looking forward to the game. Always working for the first half. Get to watch the second half. Hate doing that, said James. At least you get to watch some of it, buddy. Albeit I understand your frustration. Champions League semi-final and all. Epic Ledger said, we'll terrorise Barcelona's back four with a counter-attack in play. I'd love a Fabinho, Gini and Henderson midfield and the usual front and back, said Mark. Messi, Coutinho and Suarez suck at defending, said Epic Ledger. Suarez can track back and defend. I just don't know, again, if he has the legs that he once had, because he's getting older as well. I'll be in the red kit tomorrow, said Scotty, with Mo on his back. For me, my European kit, I've got no name on the back. I just have the Champions League and the respect badges. As he's gone for Ter Stegen, Semedo, Piqué, Longley, Alba, Rakitic, Busquets, Arthur, Messi, Suarez, Coutinho. Exactly, that's what it was. That's it, mate. Thank you. Did I see Boya? I did see Boya. Mate, how are you? I hope you're ready. I hope you're ready for Monday night, Boya. I hope you've got your vocal cords ready. Are you travelling to the game up in Manchester, mate? No doubt it's easy enough to get a ticket. But do us a fucking favour, mate, will you, and get some points off them. Dilip being told to join us by the Ajax coach. I seen that, James. Somebody mentioned that to me earlier on. I mean, from one bald man to another, you know, to the Ajax coach. Lots of love, mate, because that would be class. Robbie, talk to you soon, buddy. Thank you for coming in. Crumlin Dublin Reds fan living in Atlanta, Georgia. Wow. 2 years now. Your show helps keep things... Oh, that's mad, Gavin. That is mad. How did you end up in Atlanta, mate? I've flown into that airport so many times on the way to Orlando. I've always wanted to go to the city itself and actually see A-Town and have a look around it. How did you end up from Crumlin in Atlanta? That is nuts, Gavin. In a good way, I mean, mate. And welcome, and thank you for the kind words as well. Do you miss the submarine bar, Gavin, in Crumlin? As a Red, that's a massive Reds bar. I'm pretty sure many people, to some extent, have some link with Barcelona. Yeah, I think for me it just spanned from going to Spain when I was on holidays. When I was 5 and 6 going to Spain, and my dad getting me the Barcelona shirts. That's it. That's where my respect for Barcelona came from. Klopp to start Keita and annoy the shit out of Messi all night, said Eric Worry. That would be perfect. Did not know that. Craig looks delightful on TV. Yeah, look, it's a massive, imposing, big stadium, Josie. It's huge, but I think even Barcelona fans would be the first to say that it needs updating, and there are plans to update the new camp. A score draw will do us, blow them away at Anfield, said Thomas. Clean sheet, I'd be happy if we score, said the Irishman. It's nervous time, let's get behind the team, said Good Day Podcast. I've never really feel nervous watching Liverpool. I don't know why. I think when it's out of our hands, like when I'm watching the United City game or the Burnley City game, then I feel really nervous because it's nothing to do with us. I trust this team, I really do. Imagine a 5-5 and then a 3-3 second leg. That would be heart attack stuff, mate. I'd probably be nervous then, I'm not going to lie. Who would you have partnering centre back with Virgil van Dijk? Matip. I wouldn't change a thing. I wouldn't change a formate or a partnership, that has been so good for the last 10, 15 games. I would definitely stick with Matip. I'd play Gomez at right back. I know that's annoyed a few people, but it's just something that I would do. At home then, put Trent straight back in, but I'd try Gomez at right back tomorrow. The Barcelona golden era is at its end, just as the Reds rise again, said Billy. Opinions on Dembele playing against us. He's a very good footballer. Very good footballer. He just needs to get his attitude right. All the talent in the world. He's got his chance now with a massive club like Barcelona. It just depends what mood he's in, mate, to be honest. Why would the coach tell him to leave? He's leaving in the summer, Harry. It's not that he's telling him to leave. I think he's been told that he can move on. So many clubs are in, from Barcelona, United. I think City have looked at him. Liverpool. Basically name any top club in Europe and they're all looking at Matthias de Ligt. So I think the coach is just saying maybe that would be a better move or a good move for him to forward his career. I don't think he wants him out. I think any coach in the world would want to keep him there, but there's probably an agreement in place. If a certain amount of money comes in, then he can be moved on. Check Anfield Agenda Instagram. Mate, I don't run the Instagram account. Sometimes that confuses people. Kev takes care of the Instagram account. People often say tag me and stuff, or actually people often have a go at Kev and say, you're some fucking prick on there fucking on the stream tonight telling me to fuck this, fuck that, and Kev's going, what? Because Kev might not watch the stream. Yeah, it's Kev, mate, that runs that account, so I can't check it because I don't even have access to it. Clean sheet tomorrow, said, is it Eki or Iki or Ikai 69? Boya said, I'm travelling fucking ball ache to get a ticket in Leicester end, but the home end will be like a library as usual. That's mad. Have you got a ticket yet, boy, or are you still looking for a ticket? That is nuts. You're travelling all the way up, like, and as you said, you'd probably be able to get a home ticket. The Submarine Bar was unreal. It's a great boozer. To be fair, it's a really good pub in Crumlin. Crumlin, Northern Ireland? No, Crumlin, Dublin, I think he means, mate. To Atlanta, Georgia. Glenn Hoddle admitting no place like Anfield when it's rocking. Damn right. On that game tonight with Spurs, how bad were they? Champions League semi-final, first leg at home. They were shocking. Absolutely shocking. And yes, they're missing two forward players in Son and Kane, but that doesn't explain why there was absolutely no movement, no creativity, no game plan almost at times. It looked terrible. Kev said, even all was in a 5-car pile-up on the A12. Lucky all is okay. Car is wrecked. 3 cars rolled off. Fuck. Kev, mate, look, I'm glad you're all okay. A car is a car, buddy, as you know. You can replace a car, you can't replace people. I'm glad to hear you're okay. I hope everybody involved in all the 5 cars are okay. And thank you for letting us know, Kev. I'm sorry to hear that, mate. Jesus. Got you off work tonight. Well, if there's any bonus, Kev, to be taken from it, the offside trap could work since Suarez's teeth can't hold the line. Oh, that's naughty, Regs. Is Fabinho and Firmino fit? Yes, they both trained. Is it Obaking? They both trained, mate. So yeah, that's great news. Liam, how are you, buddy? How's tricks? You ready for the big one tomorrow? Did you hear about the police battering our fans out there? No, I haven't been on social media today, Liam. I'm trying to stay away from it. But it doesn't surprise me. The police over there are known to be heavy-handed around football games. It's not good enough. It's just fucking shocking. If that's the case, there needs to be fucking investigated. I mean, the cunts are putting the prices up, and we've seen Man United fans as well get heavy-handed treatment over there, and in Sevilla as well. Fuck off is my answer to it. Like, they wouldn't get away with that. The English police would never, ever, ever be like that towards opposition fans. I'm not having it. Like, it's not good enough. Something needs to be done about this shit. You don't change the winning defence, said Mark. Good call on Gomez at right back, said Epic Ledger. That's really annoyed me now, hearing about our fans and that heavy-handed treatment by the police, if that's the case. Because, look, you don't know. I don't know what's happened here. Maybe some fans were being dickheads, but I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt, because Liverpool fans usually, as most United fans are the same, when they travel, they're usually alright. They have a few beers, they sing, they stick to the sections of the city that they're advised to stick in. There's no need for that shit whatsoever. The Leighton VVD Liverpool centre-back partnership next season would be top quality, said Christopher. It would be great, mate. Be fucking class. Adam Cole said, as a Barca fan, I'd love Sané to replace Coutinho. Outrageous, but he's great. Sané is an excellent footballer, Adam. Very good. There's a Crumlin Road in Northern Ireland, Qatari. You are right, mate. There is a Crumlin area in Northern Ireland. Just, I think the area the gentleman was talking about was in Dublin. Got one, thank you. Thank God. Would be gutted if I missed out. Missed us fucking their title up. Don't be saying that to me, boy, mate. Don't be teasing me with that. Honestly, I don't even know if I'll watch that game on Monday night. Who am I kidding? Of course I'm watching it. I'm not doing a watch along of it though. There's no way I'm sitting through a watch along of that game and being miserable during it. So yeah, I'll watch it but no watch along of it. Why don't you drink, Craig? I wouldn't say I don't drink, nice day. I just very, very, very rarely drink. I couldn't be arsed with hangovers, and if I go out and say I had 5 or 6 pints, I'd have a 2-day hangover, and I can't be doing with that with my son. My son is so energetic and so wired to the moon that I can't be having a hangover and coping with Lucas at the same time, so it's just easier not to have a drink. Compare this match to the Battle of Winterfell, said Good Day Podcast. Crumlin Dublin 12. Dublin 12, sorry. Living for this game tomorrow. Liverpool 2, Barca 1, said Gavin Smith. That's mad, mate. I'm still... How did you end up in Atlanta? Is it work? Did you marry an American lady? Or... That's nuts, though. I want to emigrate to America, Gavin. It's something I've been talking about for a year and a half now, to try and get the family over there. It's just so scary, mate, when you look into medical insurance. Getting into the country would probably be okay. Like, I mean, you probably get a visa to get in there. But yeah, it's scary as fuck when you look into healthcare and stuff like that. What's happening, Craig? You alright, said Reese. I'm good, thank you, buddy. I hope you are as well. Born here and be living here since, said Qatari. Craig, would you go to any League of Ireland games this season? Bowes attendance is up 40%. Yeah, my problem is, Ella, I'm in a shitty area right now. So the where Gorey is I'm kind of in between Wexford Youths and, say, Bray Wanderers. I'm kind of 45-50 minutes away from either. But yeah, I would definitely go to some League of Ireland games, and we were almost considering covering some of them on Crack-On next year. So maybe Brian, Connor, myself, we were thinking of maybe covering a few League of Ireland games on the second channel. But I'm glad to hear attendance is up 40%. That's great news for the league, or for Bowes in particular. There didn't seem to be any atmosphere at the Spurs stadium, said Mark. I don't know, Mark. I had to sound on mute, mate, because I was doing the watch along and I can't have it for copyright rules. The Ajax fans looked like they were having a good time. That's one thing I can say. Boya said, to be fair, I think our lads would be right up for it with the Europa League to play for and the 3-0 result we just had against Arsenal. I hope so, Boya. I fucking hope so. You can definitely get at them, 100%. You're a good side, Leicester. You can definitely get at City. I'm just refusing to let myself believe, mate. But if you do anything, Boya, I'm bringing you on this show, mate. And I don't know, we'll just hail Boya for 20 minutes. If you take points off them, will you come on the show, Boya? If you take any points off them, will you come on for a bit of a reaction? Obviously not that night, because you're travelling. We'll get you on the next day or something. Would you rather Pepe or Werner up front? Werner, for me personally. I think he suits the system. I think Klopp would love to work with him. And I've seen a lot more of him as well, to be fair, than I have of Pepe, so that's probably going to influence my answer. What's the best bar in Liverpool to have a few in? Depends what you want, Dave. Beer Keller at Liverpool 1 is a good spot. They've loads of huge screens, lots of good choice of food. That's usually where I end up when I'm in there, because I like going to Liverpool 1. It's a handy spot to just go do a bit of shopping in, walk around, head down to Albert Dock then. But there's so many nice boozers, mate, in and around. Obviously, the one I like also, the bar at what's the Jury's Hotel, the Albert Dock, right beside the Big Whale. They have a lovely beer garden and stuff there, mate. It's a nice spot to sit and watch the sun go down and have a few drinks. We need you back on Twitter, mate, or maybe a WhatsApp group. I just can't be arsed, Liam, with Twitter anymore, mate. It's too negative. Anything, I go on Twitter and within 5 minutes I'm angry as soon as I go on there, mate. So I will pop on occasionally, and I do post a few things on the Anfield Agenda account. October does most of the posting, but I don't know, a WhatsApp group, I don't know. We've thought about it before. An Anfield, there is an Anfield Agenda, not a WhatsApp group. What is it called again? I can't remember what they're fucking called. That other thing that isn't WhatsApp that people use to communicate, gamers especially. I can't think of what it's called now. I don't know, mate. I don't know if I'll ever be back on there, to be honest. The Arkles and the Anfield Road end, said Scotty. I think he means more in and around the city though, buddy, for when he's there. I think Dave's gone for 3 days, if memory serves me correct. Speaking of Werner, people say I look like Timo Werner. Qatari, nice. I think you take that as a compliment. Oh, this is the first time I've heard this lad's name in a while, actually. Ian says, Terry from the Football Terrace thinks you will beat Barcelona tomorrow night. I don't know anything about this Terry lad, except anything I've ever heard about him have been people saying he's an arsehole. But that's, as I said, I don't know him, so I won't give an opinion on him, Ian, because I don't know the guy. But anyone that's come into our chat and has spoken about him hasn't spoken very highly of him, but I don't have a right to talk about somebody I don't know, so... But, I mean, he thinks we might beat Barca. We may well do, but I think a score draw is the most likely outcome. Can you imagine the atmosphere at Anfield against Wolves if Liverpool beat Newcastle and Leicester take points off City? No, mate, I can't imagine it. It would be just ridiculous. Discord is definitely the word I was looking for. Thank you, yes, Discord. This old 37-year-old Irish fraud couldn't think of the word Discord. It would be amazing, the atmosphere. Absolutely amazing. Football Twitter is toxic, said Reese. Yes, mate, it can be. There's some really lovely people on Twitter. Of course there are. Some really knowledgeable fans as well. But then there's just a huge section of dickheads that just want to piss and moan about everything and can't take any enjoyment out of anything. Just have to piss and rain on everyone's parade. Put aside the weather in the UK, living here is not bad, said Qatari. What else we got? Football Twitter is hell on earth, said Brian Morrissey. What's the subject tonight? I don't know, Paul. We're just shooting the shit, mate. Just chatting about the game tomorrow, talking about transfers, just having a bit of fun, mate. I think all of us are just really killing time ahead of the game tomorrow. What's your prediction for Barca and Newcastle? 2-2 draw away at Barca and a 2-0 win away at Newcastle. Hansi is my 2 predictions there, but I'd love to know yours. My wife said when Craig goes on Twitter I have to hear rants about what he's seeing, which is true. She's not making it up. When I go on there, I'm actually shouting at my phone at times and then saying to her, you won't believe this, so said blah 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 and blah. It just makes me angry. Much better for me to come on here and have a chat with people that actually are willing to, you know, make an argument if they have something to say, rather than just say prick, nonce, dickhead, cunt. Do you know, people will come take the time to write out a comment and they'll express their opinions and they'll give a rational argument as to why they feel a certain way. Sometimes on Twitter you don't get that. What's happening with the police and LFC fans? A couple of people, Liam actually said to me earlier on that they were being a bit heavy handed. I haven't seen anything, Brian, so I can't say. He's pals with Mr. Double Initial. Oh, okay. Well then I just assume he's a prick. I don't know him, but we all know what Mr. Double Initials is like. So, I don't know. Look, leave him to it. I don't want to really discuss people I don't know. And Neil Anthony said, Terry's a dickhead. Don't give a shit what he thinks. He's irrelevant. I don't even know that channel, to be fair. I've never heard of it. But then again, I wouldn't take that as a slight against the channel. I don't know a lot of YouTube channels. Hoping VVD and Genie can convince the Lit to come to Liverpool for a few years before going to Barca. Mate, if he comes to Liverpool, fuck Barca. You know what I mean? He's here for life. I get where you're coming from. He's so young that he could have a couple of moves in his career. I'd love to get him here. What's your subscriber goal for 2019? Do you mean the year as a whole, Niall, or Are we going? See how it kind of works season to season in my head. Our goal for this calendar year, I don't know. What are we in now? May, quiet summer, September. 21k. Is that realistic before the end of the year? I think maybe that's realistic, Niall. 21k before the end of December would be great, but I mean it's so hard to gauge, mate. It could all go tits up tomorrow. So it comes down to this: the next 10 days are massive. It's going to happen, believe, said Cape Town Muslim. You've got to believe, mate. It is massive. How? Actually, hang on. The next 10 days is massive. You're right, mate. Sorry, I just had to do something there. The next 10 days is absolutely huge. Paul Wilson said, alright, Craig, mate, how are you? 1-0 or 1-1 draw tomorrow. That'll do me fine, Paul. Absolutely, mate. Imad, are you from Morocco, mate? Welcome in. Excuse me if I mispronounce. I'm always so conscious of mispronouncing people's names. I never mean to do it. I'm not sure if it's Imad, but welcome in, buddy. Great to have you with us. Dr. Dead Inside, but still horny, brilliant name, said, had to cancel my flights to Barca because of what's happening over there. Sold my match tickets on. Guess I'm cheering from Drogheda once again. Is it that bad? As I said, I haven't been on social media today, so I haven't seen what's going on. But you can bet your ass I'm going to search it when I'm finished here. I fucking hate seeing police be heavy-handed with football fans. I absolutely hate it. They should know by now. Liverpool fans and English fans that travel with clubs, they're usually a decent bunch. Do you know what I mean? They go, they have their few drinks, they sing, they stick to the designated areas that they were told to go to or stay in. I'm so fucking annoyed to hear about this stuff. It's horrible. And the cunts keep getting away with it. They say Barcelona doesn't like the ref that's appointed to the game. Yes, James, they are upset about the ref. Apparently he's refereed 8 games for them in the Champions League. They have won 4, drawn 3 and lost 1, I think, something like that. If Alisson keeps one more clean sheet in the Premier League, he wins the Golden Gloves. He will. He'll win them. He deserves them as well. Is it 1 or 2? Do you get 1 or 2? Is it a Golden Glove or Golden Gloves? I often wondered that, actually. Gomez or Arnold, who would you start? Gomez for me, Paul, at right back tomorrow. And then Trent at home. But in the away game, I'd go with Gomez. Funny enough, I have the same prediction for the Barca score and 3-1 to the Reds against Newcastle, but it'd be lovely for a clean sheet at Hansi. Yeah, it would. It'd be lovely to get that clean sheet. It'd be lovely to get 2 clean sheets at the end of the season, so as Alisson and that back 4 can get to 22. I think we've too many Dutch players and Brazilians, said James. What do we have? 2 Dutch players? Oh no, 3. We've got Kiana Hoover as well, don't we? Kiana Hoover, Van Dijk, Genie. Is that too many? Brazilians, Alisson, Fabinho, Firmino. Again, 3. Well, I suppose if you want to be really technical about it, we've got more. We've got that young kid, D'Souza, that's on loan, that's going to head off. I don't think we've too many, mate. I think it's fine as it is. Liam said, I sent Connor the pic I've seen, mate, of a fan with blood down his leg. Thank you for that one, buddy. Tielemans from Leicester is a real threat, said Neil Anthony. He seems a very good player. Boya, if you're still in the chat, mate, do you think you're going to take up that option and sign Tielemans on a long-term deal? What's your favourite stand at Anfield? I'm weird. Let me just preference what I'm about to say by saying that I'm maybe a bit different. I love the Kop. I absolutely love the Kop. But when I'm watching football, I don't like to watch it from behind the goal. So for me, give me the main stand. Main stand, halfway line, mid-level, perfect. But I do love the Kop. Don't get me wrong. I'm not a fan of watching football from behind the goal. I like to watch it from the side of the field. It's just a personal thing. But every time I go to Anfield, I'm usually in the Kop. But if I had any choice, hand on heart, at 37 years of age as well, I'd probably sit in the main stand. Poochmount said 14k. I think we'll get more than that in the entire year, mate. I hope. Winning the double, subs going to 50k for 2019, said Cape Town Muslim. Seriously can't believe there's only 2 Premier League games left this season. It's flown by, said Red Hulk. It really has flown by, mate. It really has. Prez Salah's favourite stand is the Cop. I'd love it if Leicester draw with City. Brendan Rodgers would be a hero, said Patrick. I think we could blow Barcelona away tomorrow if we're 100% on our game and their defence isn't any better than United's defence, said Reese. Doesn't matter what nationality they are as long as they're the right player for our side. Exactly, mate. I completely agree with you on that one. Brendan's face when asked if he could do Liverpool a favour shows he'll give his all to stop City, said nice day. Craig was wondering, why do you think Gomez coming for Trent? It's just something that Jurgen Klopp has done, Thomas, in big games before. He's brought in Joe Gomez at right back. I don't know, maybe he thinks now Trent has enough experience. I just have a feeling. I could be completely wrong, mate. I just have a feeling that he might go in a right back. Boya said, I really hope we keep Tielemans, and having Adrian Silva as a bargaining chip going the other way can only be seen as a good thing. It's a fair point. It's a shame that didn't work out for him at the club, actually, Silva. Particularly the way the transfer went in the first place. What was it, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, something like that? Late, which is so fucking close. Kutari said, the Cop, the main stand and the Annie Road end. I used to love being in the paddock. That used to be before they changed the main stand. I love the paddock. You can never have too many Dutch or Brazilians, said Poochmount. I'm with you. 29 subscribers away, guys, from 12.5k. If you're watching, you haven't subscribed, please do hit that button. What's your prediction? Tomorrow 2-2, and for the game against Newcastle, a 2-0 win for the Reds. Craig, Barcelona police were honest because our fans stupidly put a Barca fan under a fountain. Look, if you're acting the prick, the Spanish police aren't going to hold back. I've seen that firsthand on holidays and stuff. They're not shy about getting their batons out. Rogers O's or something said Prez. 14 seconds, Jesus. It was only 14 seconds delayed. That is nuts. That's crazy, isn't it? I'd love to see Gomez back alongside Van Dijk, but Matip has been playing brilliantly, said Ryan. You'll hit 15k by the Champions League final. I don't know. I was thinking that the other day. What if we do get to the Champions League final? What's a realistic number for the channel? I think the 14k that was mentioned earlier on might be realistic. I think in the last 28 days we've got 2,150 odd subscribers, something like that, over the past 28 days. So what is there? June the 1st for the Champions League final, so a full month to go. Maybe 15k could be realistic. It would be pushing it, but you never know. I wouldn't have thought we'd be where we are now, to be fair. I thought we'd be at about 7,000 at this point. Thank you, Liam, for sending those pics to Connor. Do you believe we're going to win the Premier League? No, I don't, mate. Sorry. I hope, but I don't believe. I'm not giving up hope, but honestly, my honest opinion, you have to say City are favourites. They have 2 games to go. It's in their own hands. If this was flipped around and it was the other way, I'd be saying we're favourites. It's just the way it is. Leicester can get points off City. It's not out of the realms of possibility, but I wouldn't say we're favourites. Champions League, I fancy that. I really think we can do that. Do you think any of our players celebrate? Do you think any of our ex-players celebrate if they score tomorrow? Probably, John. I'm never really one that's arsed about ex-players celebrating or not celebrating. At the end of the day, if you score a goal tomorrow, you're scoring a goal in the Champions League semi-final. It's what you grew up dreaming about doing. Why not celebrate? I wouldn't bother me if Suarez or Coutinho celebrated. I wouldn't change my opinion of them one way or the other. Danny said, hey Craig, Ajax looking very good. If they could keep their players, they'd be top class. They looked like they were playing within themselves tonight at times, Danny. Their passing was magnificent. Sometimes it was just very simple little passing triangles, but those triangles were good enough to get around Spurs. They were finding the gaps between Spurs' defensive lines quite easily as well. They just looked calm, composed, and I think they deserve their win tonight. Yeah, it's a good side. What else we got? You should be ashamed of your fans. Disgusting racist. I don't know what you're on about, Nassim, mate. Honestly. But to tar all fans with a brush for anything is just a silly comment, mate. No doubt you've read or seen something that's annoyed you, mate, or somebody's called you something, and if you have been treated that way, then I apologise. Obviously it wasn't by me or anybody that I know of on here, but I mean, if any Liverpool fan has been disrespectful towards you, mate, or used your race against you, then please accept my apology on behalf of them. It's not something I've seen much from Liverpool fans, but there's dickheads in every fan base, mate. So yeah, again, if you've been mistreated, mate, I apologise on behalf of our fan base, but that's all I can really say, buddy. I haven't seen what else has gone on. I forgot the fourth stand, but I got it now. So Qatari. Yeah, Cop main stand, Annie Road and Sir Kenny Dalglish, obviously. Honoured for the blue spanner. You've earned it, mate. You've earned it. Thank you. And thank you for your continued support. And thank you for being here every night and your wonderful comments. And the same to everybody else in the chat. Tottenham definitely missed Son, said John Bale. They absolutely did. Would you rather, or why would you start Gomez? I just explained that one a second ago, Thomas. I hope you caught it, mate, but just in case you didn't, I just think it's not what I would do. I would play Trent. I just think it's what Klopp will do, because it's what he's done in previous big games before. But I play Trent. I have no issues playing Trent. I think we'll win the Champions League or the Premier League, but I hope both, said Jack. Regardless of what happens, though, we keep going until the final day, final minute, final second. Absolutely spot on, Qatari. You never give up, mate. Well, there's time on the clock, or it's not mathematically impossible. You got to keep going. Douglas, how are you, mate? Douglas James Horn. Just finished work. How was the match? Ajax deserved their win. Spurs looked fairly toothless, buddy. Yeah, I think it's a fair result. What else we got? Can't see Brighton do much. I think Leicester's our last chance. Fingers crossed, says Robert. Did you ever play football, Craig? You talk a great game. Must be because you're a Liverpool supporter. Yes, Paul, I did. I played underage level. I played, represented Ireland under 16s, under 14s. Played at really high level at underage level, but then when I hit 16, 17, drink, girls, it's just not good enough to make it as well, mate. I mean, let's be honest here. I wasn't never going to be good enough to go make it in England, but yeah, I played at a high level. I should probably go and do my badges as well. It's something I've thought about. But yes, of course I've played. I hope the fact that I've played comes across. I mean, I like to think that I talk from a point of view of knowing something about the game. The last part of your comment, though, confuses me. I talk a great game, must be because you're a Liverpool supporter. I didn't know if that was a dig or not, mate, or if it was just a compliment, but yes, I did play. I really hope you win either the Premier League or the Champions League, and that's from a Chelsea fan. Thank you, mate. Welcome in. Cahill said, people point in the small minority doing shitty things, but when their fan bases do similar shit, they play defensive. You can't have it both ways. Look, if anybody from our fan base acts like a dickhead, they deserve to be called out. And I think the same of any other fan base. There's no room in the world, let alone football, for racism, homophobia, xenophobia, or to just hate somebody because of anything other than their personality. I mean, if you're going to dislike somebody, I hope it's because you think they're an asshole, and not just because of where they're from, what they look like, how they speak, who they love. I've spoken about this quite a lot on the stream. That type of shit does my head in. If I dislike someone, it's because I dislike them as a person, or as because of what they've said. I never judge anybody on where they're from, even Manx. The Premier League will be ours next year, said Prez Salah. Love you, Craig. Hopefully one day you'll be up there, the best LFC fan channels. Whatever happens, Brad, happens, mate. Thank you for the lovely words, but if ever the channel does continue to grow and we do well, it's because of people like yourself and everybody else in the chat. It's the subscribers that put the channels where they are. At the end of the day, all I do on here is read out comments, give a little bit of opinion, and try and be consistent in what we do. If that works and people like it and the channel grows, fucking brilliant. If it doesn't, I'm still enjoying myself. Connor, how are you, Connor Nibbler? Hey Craig, you left Twitter, mate. Which of the Ajax young lads would you want us to sign? De Ligt, and more De Ligt, Connor. Yeah, De Ligt, mate, is the obvious answer, I know, but I think he's the one that would be cherry picked if, you know, Frankie de Jong's already gone to Ajax or to Barcelona. Central midfield, where it'll be won or lost tomorrow night. Craig, what do you think? I don't know, man. I want to say the defences is where it'll be won or lost tomorrow. Midfield is going to be important, don't get me wrong. I think Busquets can be got at. I don't think Arthur's any great shake either. I think we have every opportunity to win that midfield battle, but I still think it could be the defences that make the difference in the game. And I back our defence overall to be stronger than theirs. Qatari said, personally, I think we still got the Champions League, the Premier League potential, although it's not likely. Leicester and Brighton still have to play City. Yeah, I mean, I can't see Brighton doing anything. I think, as people have pointed out, maybe if there's anything to be got, it might be from Leicester, but the fact that they're away from home makes it more difficult. I hope Lewis Dunk equalises in the 90th minute against City to give us a last minute league win. That would be fucking amazing. That would be amazing. That would be amazing. The fact that we'd be in Liverpool when that happens would be even more amazing. De Ligt's gone to Barca too. It's not confirmed, mate. You're just completely guessing that he's gone to Barcelona. In fact, his manager's come out and suggested he goes to Liverpool. He'd been linked to Barcelona, absolutely. But at the same time, with the 75 million they've spent on Frankie de Jong, Barcelona haven't got a shit ton of money because of the wages they're having to pay Lionel Messi, Luis Suarez, and of course they spent a lot of money last year on Felipe Coutinho and Ousmane Dembele as well. So I don't know how much money Barca have, but it's not out of the realms of possibility. They're definitely linked to him, but he's not nailed on to go there, is what I'm trying to say. I'd rather Man City was playing Leicester than Man United or Arsenal, said Jeremy Hunt. Yeah, I mean, Leicester are up for it, as Boy has said. They've got something to play for. They're coming off the back of a 3-0 win over Arsenal, and we know how effective Leicester can be on the counter-attack as well. Simplicity is not confusing. This channel is a simple way to spend time passing or praising the greatest English team. Excuse me, mate. Thank you for that as well. Right, ladies and gents, my voice is about to go. I'm knackered. Been on here since about 20 to 8 tonight, so I'm going to read a couple more comments and then I'm going to call it a night. Brighton's crap, said Epic Ledger. Season's over if Leicester lose. Well, the season isn't over, mate. The Premier League season might be over, but we still have the Champions League. Well, it isn't over yet, but you're saying the season's over if Leicester lose. It isn't. Do you know there's a train track under our ground? My dad was telling me. I think it's a tram track, mate, that goes past Anfield. If memory serves, I don't think it's under the ground either, Liam. I think there was definitely a tram track that went through Anfield, as in Anfield, the area, because there was talk of bringing it back at one point. Brad said I have a soft spot for Spurs, Barca and Blackburn, but I love Liverpool. Right, and that, ladies and gents, I'm going to call it a night. Again, if you're watching, you haven't subscribed, please do hit that button before you head off. For those of you that are with us all the time, tomorrow the watch along will be starting at 7:30, so I hope you can join us for that one. Just remember, we don't schedule our watch alongs because I'm convinced that it's easier to get a copyright strike if you schedule it, so I don't schedule the watch along. So 7:30 tomorrow night we'll be starting for that. We'll have our post match show as well. On Thursday then, hoping to have Expressions on. There won't be a late night agenda on Thursday, just that show with Expressions. As always, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for your kind words. Thank you for all your comments. Countdown starts to the Champions League semi-final. We've got 21 hours to go or so till kick off. Take care of your families. Tell your loved ones that you love them. And up the motherfucking Reds.